In this podcast episode, the host sits down with Aubrey Marcus, the founder of Onnit, Fit for Service, and Arcadia Festival. Marcus is a best-selling author, podcaster, philosopher, and spiritual seeker. The conversation revolves around topics such as purpose, prosperity, and the pitfalls of plant medicine. Marcus begins by discussing the idea that linking one's desires to the belief that obtaining them will bring satisfaction is a slippery slope. He shares a personal experience of selling his company and receiving a life-changing payout, only to realize that the absurd amount of money did not bring him the fulfillment he expected. He emphasizes the importance of finding satisfaction in the process of evolution and falling in love with the desire to evolve. The conversation then shifts to the role of plant medicine in Marcus's life. He describes how plant medicine experiences have shaped and formed him to such a great degree that it is hard to imagine who he would be without them. He acknowledges that plant medicine is not the only path to self-realization and that different individuals may find their own paths through practices such as breathwork, meditation, or connecting with nature. The host raises the question of, "Who am I?" and Marcus responds by describing himself as a multidimensional being with different aspects of self. He explains that there is the separate self, which is the identity structure that defines him as different from others. Then there is the true self, which is the connection to the field and the understanding of being both separate and connected to everything around him. Finally, there is the unique self, which is a combination of the identity structure and the true self, expressing his own uniqueness as a face of the divine. The conversation takes a personal turn as Marcus shares his experience of losing his father, who suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. He discusses the process of grieving and how he used various Hebrew wisdom traditions to honor his father's memory. He emphasizes the importance of telling all the stories, both the good and the challenging ones, to bring his father back to life through the memories shared. The discussion then delves into the topic of psychedelics and their role in Marcus's spiritual journey. He expresses his belief that psychedelics are not doing anything to individuals but rather showing them aspects of themselves that need to be dealt with. He cautions against using psychedelics as a form of escapism or placing too much value on the size of the impact one has through their use. He emphasizes that the proof of the effectiveness of psychedelics lies in how individuals live their lives and the energy they bring to the world. Marcus also addresses the potential pitfalls of the plant medicine path, such as masquerading hedonism as spirituality. He acknowledges that there are traps and issues that individuals can fall into, but ultimately, it depends on the person and their ability to find balance and not forget the experiences they have had. The conversation continues with a discussion on integration and the blurring of boundaries between psychedelic journeys and everyday life. Marcus shares his belief that integration is simply not forgetting what one has experienced and being mindful of the lessons learned. He emphasizes the importance of finding joy, love, and laughter in all aspects of life and not relying solely on plant medicine for these experiences. Marcus continues by talking about the challenges that come with pursuing a special and different path in life. He mentions that while there are big rewards, there are also challenges, especially when it comes to the use of medicines that can exacerbate psychological issues. He warns against mythologizing the pursuit of success and the dangers of ego inflation. He then delves into the concept of desire and how it can lead to suffering. Marcus suggests that desiring desire itself, rather than the fulfillment of desires, can be a safer and more fulfilling approach. He uses the analogy of staying in the state of foreplay before sex, where the desire itself becomes the focus rather than the end result. Marcus shares his personal experience of achieving success and financial prosperity through the sale of his company, Onnit. He explains that while the financial windfall was exciting, it didn't fundamentally change who he was or bring lasting satisfaction. He emphasizes the importance of finding joy in the process of growth and evolution, rather than relying on external achievements for happiness. The discussion then shifts to the topic of projection and judgment. Marcus acknowledges that as a pioneer in various fields, he has faced criticism and judgment from others. He shares that he has learned not to let these projections affect him and to stay true to himself. He emphasizes the importance of understanding and not judging something before fully experiencing and understanding it. Marcus also talks about the power of the masculine and feminine energies and how they show up in individuals and in the world. He highlights the need for a balanced representation of both energies and the importance of stability, honesty, and consistency in the masculine. He also emphasizes the value of vulnerability, compassion, and listening in the feminine. In terms of creating a more beautiful world, Marcus believes that it requires a mature and balanced representation of both the masculine and feminine energies. He sees himself as a leader who can embody both aspects and surround himself with people who can support and guide him. He emphasizes the importance of cultivating these energies within oneself and in community settings. Marcus discusses the power of Sangha, or community, in realizing a more beautiful world. He shares his experiences with Fit for Service, a transformational program that brings communities together. He emphasizes the importance of sharing one's essence and creating a safe space for others to do the same. He believes that by loving and experiencing the world to the fullest extent, we can bring about positive change. Marcus continues by discussing his journey of self-discovery and how he found his purpose in life. He emphasizes the importance of being open and vulnerable, as well as the need for a permission slip to be oneself in a world that often discourages authenticity. Marcus acknowledges that he still has room to grow in this aspect but believes that being an open book is crucial for personal and collective growth. The conversation then shifts to the role of men in society and the importance of being a powerful model for others. Marcus expresses his passion for serving the world and how his love for the world has grown as he surrounds himself with beautiful people. He mentions his deep connection with Alana, who inspires him to fight for the world even more. Marcus believes that by loving the personal, one can learn to love the whole and make a positive impact on the world. Marcus also mentions his upcoming book, Psychonaut, which tells the story of his journey through psychonautics. He describes it as a wild and vulnerable account of his experiences. He invites listeners to join him in his experiences and shares the website where they can find more information. The conversation then delves into the concept of gratitude and desire. Marcus shares Matthew McConaughey's perspective on inspiration, where he is inspired by his future self. Marcus believes that one should always be reaching for the next level while being grateful for what they have. He expresses his desire to continue growing and exploring his potential. The episode concludes with Andre expressing his gratitude for Marcus's friendship and the example he sets as a man in the world. He appreciates their brotherhood and the knowledge that they are not alone in their journey. Andre believes that together, they can create a more beautiful world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.